Board. Switch the screens. Good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing? Doing all right, guys? Okay. So last time I was a couple of things happened. First of all, the battery in my Surface Pen have went out, and the issue is that it's a very, very rare battery. Actually, it's one of those quadruple A batteries, never seen before. And there's only like one store in Riyadh that actually sells them. If I would get them online, it would be too late. So, and then the other thing was that I think there's a nice portion of last time's lecture that I accidentally forgot to what's it called, to record. So I want to just revisit today's lecture. It's not going to be a long lecture. It's going to be a short lecture, but I want to revisit again what we've covered in the last lecture. So the last lecture we said we're going to be doing secure software engineering, which says that we need to watch out for security from the very beginning, from requirements, all right, to design, to implementation and testing, okay? So that's plus S, plus S, plus S, and so on, right? We're focusing more in this course, at this side of the issue, and there's many techniques and modeling techniques that help us deal with security and account for security at the requirements phase. But we're focusing on the one that's called misuse case modeling. Sorry, what was that? What course? If you're taking the cybersecurity track, you will end up probably taking the secure software. As a matter of fact, we have a meeting today about this, but it's to specify which courses and so on. So we're trying to iron out the last detail. Misuse case modeling. We're trying to iron out the last details. And I think this is trying to tell me that the battery is dying. I think so. That's why it went dead. Okay, anyway, hopefully it will last us the lecture though. Okay, so let's recap here. So misuse case modeling, you can think of it this way. The diagram has two sides, the misuse cases side and the use cases side, okay? And the only relationship that we said that would go from a misuse case to a use case, that's called, no, threatens, okay? And the only one that goes from a use case to a misuse case, and that is called the mitigates, okay? That's the only two you can think about it that crosses the two lines. Anything else in this side or on that side deal with the same rules that we've had before, i.e. actors only dealing with use cases by association. That could be include, extend, generalization, implementation, and they have the same exact meaning that we had before, all right? One thing that we said that we're gonna have and we should be looking for is the triangular form, okay? So you get a misuse case, gonna just do it over here like that, all right? So this is a business use case. Okay, so it's a business case. In other words, this is the regular use case that we've been creating all along and that you've been creating in the exam and the quizzes and so on. And then suddenly we realized that it's under threat. All right. And so what we do is we include, and the reason we include is not because sometimes we defend and sometimes we don't. We always defend. Okay. We include some sort of a security use case. Now, security use case is nothing but a regular use case, but except for the functionality that we're specifying, we only specified it and it's only there for security reasons, okay? Had we not expected to be under threat for any reason whatsoever, then we would normally not have had those security use cases. And then it's those security use cases that would then mitigate. Oops, I can't write today for some reason. All right, Any questions about this, guys, before I move on? All right, all good? Okay. Now, I want to visit a topic again that I visited 100 times before, but I want to visit again and again, okay? We said in a generalization relationship, all right, this is male, this is female, all right? When we write something about, say, the eyes, because it's applicable to the male and the female, we don't write it at the class level. There's a text message. Can a business use case extend security? No. The only two things that can connect the use case world with the misuse case world is the threatens and the mitigate relationships. Okay, the new ones that we've just explained. Nothing else can be involved between the two. Okay. Oh, sorry, a business use case and an extend. Yeah. Sorry. I misread the question. I mean, if for some reason you realize that you sometimes want to do the security behavior and sometimes not, then you could use the extend, but that wouldn't be really good design because you're being reactive in this sense, okay? And security is not about being reactive, but rather being more proactive, right? But yeah, I mean, let's just take the example, the whole thing with about the grade change thing. In case the grade does change to some high level, then we might go ahead and extend the behavior to, say, contact the professor, make sure everything is correct. So yeah, I mean, it could work that way as well. But usually it's included in the sense that we're always making sure that we set ourselves up to be sure to check for it, okay, rather than being reactive. So one way we can do things is that we can block that grade change, basically block it until we've gotten from the professor the okay sign to change it, right? I mean, if you think about it more, Yalubaba, from a say financial perspective, right? If we wait and be reactive, damage is already done. Okay, so damage could be just in the form of somebody knowing how much money you have in your account. It's just a knowledge, right? It's not that they've taken your money and you're trying to retrieve it back. Okay, but just the fact that they've known it, there's no way you can make that person unknow it. They know it, so it's too late at this point. All right, hopefully that makes sense, guys. Huh? Okay, so I was saying if we have something like eyes, then we would keep it up here. Oh, sorry. We would keep it here at the top because we said it's applicable to both all the subclasses. But if there's something that is applicable to just the one subclasses, like say a beard, I would put that over here. But when I read the class M, I remember that I'm adding both what I've gotten from the H in addition to the things that are specific to the class M, the male class. Now, how does this apply to everything that I've been talking about misuse case modeling? Is that when we're talking about the triangular form, okay? When we're talking about the triangular form, let me just draw the lines again here. If this guy is including, what the heck happened here? If this guy is including another misuse case, then the mitigation mitigates that other misuse case along with it as well, okay? If this guy over here is including other use cases, okay, or being extended by other use cases, you can think about it this way. All of the relatives, this sub-use cases, sort of, if you will, are already defended by this one. So we really care about the defense of the base and the mitigation, the defense of the base use cases and the mitigation of the base misuse cases, all right? Now, it gets a little bit tricky when we're dealing with the generalization and implementation relationship. So if I have a use case over here and it's being specialized by another use case, okay, remember, this is not a security use case at the bottom, okay? This is nothing but a regular use case. Okay, so this was buy tickets, and this was buy ticket online. Okay, now If this is being threatened by a misuse case, okay, does this threat relationship apply to the child use case as well? All right, what do you guys think is the answer? What do you guys think is the answer? Do you think it applies to threatens relationship or does it not apply? So this is the threatens relationship. Guys, there's this 24 of you. I'm sure one of you must have some idea of what's going on, okay? So this threatens over here, guys, this threatens over here. Does it also apply to the bottom one or not? Okay. All right, so let's think about it this way. Let's think about it this way. So this is class human, okay? And we had at the bottom class male, okay? So class human could be associated with another class, all right, that deals with all human beings, all right? For example, study, class study, right? You'll be able to study and so on and so forth, which is applicable to male or female, all right? So this relationship, despite that the fact that it's not an attribute like eyes of the class human, we still get that relationship here inherited as well. All right. So as the studying applies to all human beings, then it's applicable to the male class and it's also applicable to the female class as well. In other words, if we go back over here, if buy ticket had an include relationship with some other use case, let's call it use case A over here. All right, then this include, then this include is inherited over here as well. So buy ticket online is also inheriting that include relationship. Matter of fact, it's including everything that deals with the parent use case. So if we had an extend, same thing. All right, and also including the threatens relationships as well. Now remember, when we talked about the generalization or even implementation for that matter, because the same concept, we said, let's just say we have 1, 2, 3, okay? And the first thing that happens is that we inherit the 1, 2, 3, okay? We can add to it the 4 and the 5, all right? And we might even decide to override one of those. It could be that the overriding and the addition of 4 and 5 is what mitigates, all right? Now, so this is the thing is, right? So what mitigates what's coming from the misuse case that we had, the black one over here, okay? But we don't really have any way specifically to tell, okay? So it's one of those, you know, it may be, it is threatened. Yes, it's threatened, all right? Is the security accounted for? At this stage, we'll say no. Based on the diagram, there's nothing that lets us know that the mitigation is happening. It's only if we read the use case that we can realize that buying ticket online mitigates that threat that's coming in from just by the nature of, for some reason, that when you're buying it online, sorry, not online, on sale. What am I still talking about? On sale. But when you're buying it on sale, for some reason, what was happening in the main use case, the misuse case is not applicable anymore, okay? So, for example, buy ticket online gives us a limit of buying 6 tickets, so you don't buy the entire stadium and then end up reselling it again, all right? Now, it might be that that misuse case, that threat, is only applicable if you buy 50 tickets. So by nature of you buying 6 tickets only, you're limited to just 6 tickets, then by nature that threat doesn't apply to you anymore, Okay, so number 3 over here was you select how many you want, but now number 3 dash is you can select maximum of 6 tickets. Okay, now explicitly saying that this misuse case, this use case is defending against it if we have an include with some sort of a security use case, and that we can see that the security use case is mitigate. Okay, now let's think about it from the opposite side over here. Okay, this security use case over here, is it also defending the parent use case buy ticket? Okay, guys at home, what do you think? Does that security use case, does it defend the buy ticket, the parent use case? Okay, the answer is no. It's only applicable to the bottom use case, the buy ticket on sale use case. All right. Now, if I have an include over here, I think about it in the other sense. And this is some sort of a security, okay? And I do an include, all right? And this is mitigating that one over here. So this is a mitigates. Now, does the one that is highlighted in orange, does it apply and does it defend for the buy ticket online? The child use case, does it defend the child use case? Does it? Guys at home, what do you think? So just like the use case A situation, huh? We inherit everything, okay, including the defense, all right? Now, in case we go back to this side over here, the 3, 4, and 5, in case for some reason the overriding and the addition actually thwarts the security effort, and it's about the description, all right? But then in this case, the bottom use case is not secured. It's only when, but looking at the diagram, then we'll say it is secured because it's inheriting from the parent use case. So in other words, in the general sense of buying all types of tickets in all ways and forms, when you are when you're buying any ticket, you're defended with that orange security use case. And so doesn't matter which specific way, then those specific ways are also defended as well. Huh? In the what? And the child, yes, in the child, yes, yes. You don't actually need to do anything. It's a case of that the child doesn't spoil the defense that is already inheriting, okay, by the 3 dash, the 4, and the 5. Okay, I have a couple of questions on the chat. But doesn't the buy ticket online use case extend? No, it's not extend, Asma, okay? This is straight up what we've been doing before. All right, this would be a generalization relationship. If the buy ticket was not complete, it would have been an implementation relationship. So it's not an extend relationship to begin with. Okay, Aman is saying, so it only partially secures it, i.e. not all functions are secure. Now, Aman, so what I'm saying is the orange security use case, its security functionality is inherited by the buy ticket on sale, okay? So as a structure, as a diagrammatic structure, all right, it's showing that it is secure, all right? It's the onus is on the fact that whatever it's the bottom use case is adding, that with the 3 dash and the 4 and the 5, that it doesn't spoil and thwart and ruin the defensive efforts that was inherited from the orange use case, all right? Asma saying, so the green security is only specific to the child. Yes, exactly, Asma. So, right? So when we had, if you remember, when we had here at the bottom, H and M, all right, and we had beard, okay, beard is only applicable to males only. It's not applicable to females. All right. Now, I want to look at things from the other side over here. Okay, so we had over here a security use case, the green one. Let's consider the green one over here. Okay, and we said that by definition, if this is including something else, right, then this security is reaching out over there, even if this thing was extending something else. Then again, by definition, we go over there as well. Okay. Now you should be able to answer this question that I'm going to ask you. And then with that, we're probably going to end up wrapping up the lecture. But if there's a generalization relationship, and by the way, implementation would have been the same idea exactly. Okay. And that we have a misuse case over here. Okay. Does that security use case, the green one, okay, or even for that matter, the orange one as well would have worked just fine. Okay. Is the green security also applicable to the child use case over here? All right. Yes or no? Yes or no? What do you think, guys? Guys at home? Okay, so the answer is yes. Okay, so the question is, does that green security use case that we have at the bottom, or the orange one that we have over here, which defend against that misuse case over there, okay, does that defense also apply to the bottom use case? The answer is, sorry, the bottom misuse case, the answer is yes, because whatever is happening at the parent extends, if it was a use case and it's being threatened, the threat applies to the child. If it's a misuse case and it's being mitigated, that mitigation applies to the child as well. Anything that's happening at the top is in, we don't pick and choose. Okay.
What about if you have, for example, 1, 2, and 3 for the parent misuse case?
One, like a multiple level of inheritance.
Yeah.
It would inherit from all the way down.
Yeah, and then it has like 4 and 5. So with those 4 and 5.
So the idea that we have a multiple inheritance is not really relevant, because basically you just keep inheriting from whatever that you have above. And if you mitigate the most top misuse case, then that mitigation applies to all the bottom use. Now, just like when we were talking about buy ticket on sale, and we said that by structure, the threatens relationship applies to buy ticket. It might be that the meaning of 3-4 and 5, steps 4 and 5, might end up re-exposing that use case to the threat. It might thwart the security that we're getting from the orange use case. Okay, so by description, it might still spoil what it was inheriting. Could it be a threat? Could be a security mechanism? Could be whatever it is. Okay, because remember, we can override. Okay, matter of fact, theoretically, we could have override 1, 2, and 3. Okay, obviously, it wouldn't make much sense at this point that we're actually having an inheritance, but yeah, it is what it is. In theory, I could inherit everything and end up overriding everything if I really want to. Okay, so this override, this additional 4 or 5, it might, but this is what we say, via description, the threat might no longer be applicable to the child use case. Okay, but by structure, by diagrammatic structure, it is applicable. It's just now the onus is on the bottom use case to do something about it. Okay, and again, with the orange security use case, the onus on the bottom use case, the buy ticket online, not to thwart the security mechanism that was being inherited by the orange, from the orange use case. Okay, now going back over here. Okay, so the security itself is inherited over here. Okay, we're coming back over there. All right, the mitigation efforts, should I say. by structure, it is the case, but again, it could have been the situation that I'm gonna do it in blue over here just to make sure. Okay, we had the 1, 2, 3, and then we had the 1, 2, 3 dash, and the 4 and the 5, and it could have been that the 4, the 3 dash, the 4 and the 5 makes the mitigation effort gets thwarted. Okay, so now whatever I'm doing to the parent might not be applicable or might not defend. Now, that's sort of like the word that I just mixed up at is actually the key word here. It's applicable. That means it will apply to it, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be able to defend it. Okay, so we'll do it. Okay, so for example, we'll use username and password, but that doesn't mean that we're going to be secure. Okay, because the bottom misuse case might have a way that even with the username and password, it still does the damage. Okay, so it applies that not necessarily defend. Even if you think about it, okay, let's go to the nth degree here. Let's just not consider this for a moment and just even consider the relationship between those two. Okay, notice that the word says mitigates, and I mentioned it yesterday. It says mitigates because, huh? Exactly. It's trying to defend. There's no way that we can guarantee that it will 100% defend. Okay. Now, let's just say, guys, we have another security use case over here. Let's give it a different color. Let's do yellow. Okay. And that one is mitigating against this over here. Does the mitigation effort that is applicable to the bottom misuse case, is it also applicable to the parent misuse case as well? Okay, let's go back over here. Think of this. Oops. Oh, no. What do you guys think? Huh? What? Why are you hesitant, guys? Guys at home, what do you think? The mitigation, okay, beard. Okay, does beard go up? Okay, what's at the bottom doesn't go up. If it goes up, then that just blows up the entire object orientation paradigm to pieces. Okay, then the whole point of it is being at the bottom that it doesn't go up. All right, so that security, the yellow security applies to just the bottom misuse case over here, and it doesn't apply to the parent misuse case. I mean, think about it this way. If we're looking at the mail, okay, and the mail, there's something that we do with the mails, okay, like we go to barber shops, okay, so be it associated with just the bottom class, class, then it doesn't apply to all human beings. Okay, so it doesn't apply to the female class. All right. Any questions about this? All right. So if that's it, well, like I said, today is just going to be a short lecture. We're finished with the misuse cases chapter. All right. Let me stop the recording because there's no point in continuing.